Hello, soccer players, and welcome to our session 6. Today, we're going to start with a rule that sometimes causes a little bit of controversy, and it's called the offside rules. Here are some examples. In this first image, you could see that the red team has the ball, and in particular, player A is about to pass to player B. Player B, however, is past all the white defender. That means that player B is in an offside position. Therefore, the referee will assign the ball to the white team in that position. In the second image, you can see that the two players are aligned and the lines are overlapped. Those are virtual lines. Therefore, there is no offside. Some controversy on the calls happens when, for example, the arm of one player is more extended, but generally the body is looked at as the measure. So in this case, I wouldn't call an offside. Finally, there's a situation of passive offside, which will not be called because the player that is in the black circle is coming back and is technically not participating. It is assumed that the ball is being sent to the outside player. So no offsides in this case. As mentioned, offside rules always cause controversies. So there's a new rule that applied for players that are in a passive position. And as you can see above, that means that if the ball is played towards the white players attacking, if there's a player that is not participating, that player will not be in offsides. For warm-up routine that can be done in place. First, we walk. Go lateral. We go a low down. Now back kick. Open the gate. Close the gate. Calf raises. Lunges. You want to bend the bed like and a few jump squats. Head rotation. Shoulder rotations. Backwards. Forward. Open. down to the hips. Let's also do some torso tilts. At first, a little easier.
Is more advanced. It's for when the ball is in the air coming to you, either usually from a throw-in or from a long cross. If it's around your midsection, you try and trap it with to settle it straight to your foot. As the ball lands on the ground, you want to meet the ball as it hits the ground, get your knee over the ball, and pass it right back to your partner. Sorry, Jeff.
All right, for today's dribbling drill, I want to work a little bit on the tight spaces. So we're still gonna do some kind of a zigzag, but this time we can do it either with a tennis ball, which will allow us to really go tight spaces, or you can do it by putting the cones really close together. Let's see how it looks.
The instep. Here we go. Okay, now let's go with the outstep. Okay, and finally with the rolls, we'll try to get some speed. Here you go. All right, this was our zigzag dribbling. We're gonna work a little bit on our long passes, but we're also gonna shift laterally after receiving the long pass and try to use both feet. So we're gonna trap, shift over, and send a long pass. As you noticed, I was always going across the field and Jeff was going straight, so down the line. Now I'm gonna go straight down the line and he's gonna go across. Oh yeah! That's so good.
In looking at various ways to shoot the ball, today we're gonna consider the outside of the foot, or as they say in Latin America, the tres dedos shot. So basically, it's a shot that puts a reverse spin compared to the regular curve. So if you hit it with the inside of the foot and you hit it as a right footer, and you look at the ball from above, the spin will be counterclockwise. Now, if you hit it with the outside of the foot, you'll get the very opposite spin. So you'll get a clockwise spin. And sometimes this is good for certain angles. The technique is a little more difficult because basically, when you're about to shoot, you're still in the standard position, but you have to put your toes inwards a little bit. So it's sometimes a little bit awkward. And what you don't want to do is to get sideways and kick it in a way that would look like a karate kick. So again, you hit it square, but you put your foot inwards a little bit, and the ball will get a clockwise spin from above for a right footer. Let's see some examples. Let's talk strategy for a second. In this case, I want to talk especially about keeping the team short. What does that mean? That means that you want all your 10 players, of course, not the goalie, but even the goalie sometimes, relatively close to each other. So when our team is attacking, oftentimes coaches leave the defensive line way behind, let's say at the edge of the box. That causes a space that is excessive between the defensive line and the midfield. You don't want that to be more than 10, 15 yards. So, what you have to do, strategically speaking, is when you're attacking, your defensive line has to follow the rest of the team. And in particular, um, you can bring up especially the lateral, so the left back and the right back, and use them almost as winger players. The two center backs, in case you're playing with a defense of four, can be as high up as the midfield, but probably wouldn't go past that. At the same time, they wouldn't want to stay back too close to the box because if there's a counterattack, the opponents can fill the empty space between our defenders and our midfielders. Today, as we're looking at our goalkeeping techniques, one that is really important is when the ball is rolling towards our feet. The correct position is sometimes called the K position, which is where the hands of the goalie are going towards the ground, the legs are bent, but one of the two knees is inwards because you don't want to bend your legs in a way that open up the feet too much. With the knee put inwards, we can put a backup element in case the ball slips through the hands. So if the ball goes through the hands, it would hit your knee. If your feet instead are wide, the ball will go right through. And at lower levels, that happens quite a bit. Now, professional goalies sometimes are so good at not letting the ball through that sometimes they choose to just split their legs. But for our level, definitely put that knee inwards. Okay, soccer players, now we're at the challenge of the day. And we're going to do a game that is slightly similar to the one that we did when we were going back and forth and scoring goals, but this time is going to be a more of a dribbling one and a speed one. So basically, what we'll do is put two cone two cones at a distance of maybe say 10 yards, and we are going to go around the cones. So basically, as swimmers, kind of like back and forth and see in how much time we do a set of 10 and how much time we do a set of 20. So that is the challenge for today. Let's try and bring back some very fast results. All right, let's see this challenge. We're going back and forth. We're starting at the blue cone, going to the green cone, and we're always going around as fast as we can. No shots. We have to do one round of 10 and one round of 20, and we'll see how long it takes us. Ready? Start a timer. Go. That's 4. That's 5. 6. 8. And 10. That was pretty fast. Now, obviously, it depends on the distance that you choose. All right, you try. Okay, soccer players, we are at the end of the session 6, and I just want to leave you with a little bit of positive advice for our section on values and attitudes. And in particular, I just want to talk about um, a mindset that we have. So try to have a little bit of a growth mindset, which means have an attitude that is always can do. So don't see challenges as something difficult that you want to avoid, but welcome them and welcome any type of difficulty. And always tell yourself, yeah, I can do this, because with this type of attitude you're going to be able to grow and face the difficulties that you could face during a game or during practices or in days when you don't feel like practicing or trying to get better. So that mentality will help you basically grow constantly, and if you really believe that you can do it, oftentimes you actually really do it. So growth mindset, positive can do attitude. See you next time.